and welcome to Police Profiles. I'm Officer Bob Frudenberg of the Suffolk County Police Department's Community Relations Section. Today we're going to be talking about CBers and the police, and with me today are Mr. Richard Treadle, who is otherwise known as Otter, and we'll get into that a little later, and Officer Ralph Francois is the 905 operator, a 20-year veteran of the Suffolk County Police Department, been in highway for 3 years, and you're otherwise known as Black Cloud. And maybe we should get right into that. Those are your handles, your CB. Well, maybe we could explain what CBers are.
People that have CB radios that...
Citizen band radio.
Citizen band radio. It's like a radio station that you carry in your car.
Okay. And we talk on the radio. We find out about the traffic. What you doing that night?
No.
What you having for dinner?
Yeah, they try to find, well, in the morning time everybody says hello and they find out what kind of night they had and how traffic is up ahead. And sometimes they ask where the police are, you know. But it helps traffic flow. You can find out where tie-ups are on the expressway, and some people jump off and get back on, and you know. Yeah. It's just a good way to communicate between people in cars.
Now, both of you have a handle. I referred to that. What is a handle?
A handle's a name that you pick for what you want to be called on the radio. It could be anything, you know. My handle's Otter because when I was in the service I used to fly in Otters. It's an airplane. And
single engine, you said?
Single engine.
Well, you're a lot older than you look, Rich. No, Rich and I go back a ways from our parish, St. Sylvester's in Medford, and so I feel that I can kid you. I mean, it's not like we're sitting here for the first time ever talking. But I must say, I'd like to say, or at this point in time, that, and then we'll get to your handle, that Maria Parisi actually conceived and produced or helped produce this program, and this is very unusual. Many times in this program we've said that we can't work as cops, Ralph, without the assistance of the public, and that's what this program's about. The CBers helping the police, and Maria Parisi, who is also a CBer, who did not want to get in front of the camera, produced this and conceived the idea to say, hey, we do help cops. Why don't you show that? And that's what we're about today. In fact, she's sitting here watching us, and she's all on pins and needles. Ralph, your handle is Black Cloud. That doesn't sound too good.
Well, I got nicknamed that in the 4th Precinct when I used to work in. It used to be a quiet night, and you could count on me getting involved with something. So the sergeant named me Black Cloud, so it carried it over, and I thought it was a good handle. Okay.
We have a little tape, an audio tape, of Black Cloud and Otter actually doing their thing on the expressway, and I'd like to have you listen to it for just a moment or so.
Yeah, Break-a-By 19, emergency brake channel 9B Otter. Got any bears out there? We got an accident here at exit 65 just north of the expressway. Anybody out there?
Hey, you got a Smokey. This is Black Cloud. What's the location on that 42?
Yeah, Black Cloud B Otter there. It's exit 65 just north of the expressway. You got a 2-car accident. We need an ambulance and PD on the scene. Somebody's injured. Copy?
Yeah, I copy you. Responding. I'm at 6465, just around the corner. I'll notify headquarters, reference the ambulance and everything.
Roger.
Okay. That's pretty typical. That was reenacted, but you actually called in a call like that.
That was an actual accident that happened on Horse Block Road just north of the expressway. And it happened right in front of me, and by using the CB, I got a response from the police, and within 2 minutes, they were on the scene.
You were right there, almost. I mean,
yeah, I was the first one on the scene.
Yeah, 65 is right there. And that saves us time, doesn't it? And that saves a victim of an accident like that. Well, you're an EMT, you know how valuable sometimes time is. An EMT, emergency medical technician, that little green bar over your pocket. You're also a dinosaur. That means you've had 20 years on the job. A little asides, but a CBer is out there, and it might be, I was in crime prevention in the precincts when I worked there, and I was what they call a neighborhood watch coordinator for the precinct. You might be considered the eyes and ears or a neighborhood watch on wheels when you're out on the expressway.
Yeah, well, see, CB is like when they talk in the morning or in the night when they're coming back home from work, there's CB, they can report lots of things to help the police because they can't be every place.
Mm-hmm.
But you could catch somebody that's broken down on the side of the road, and you can call, and they can respond and get some sort of help for the person. Or you get people that are speeding or weaving through traffic, or maybe somebody that's fallen asleep behind the wheel.
You call them a nodder? Not a nodder, a nodder.
Oh, yeah, if I see somebody going down the road that's weaving in traffic, you know, weaving on the highway, sometimes they could be drunk, but sometimes, or you know, lots of times they could be just falling asleep from maybe working a double shift or going a long way on the highway. And if you call somebody to pull them over,
mm-hmm.
and maybe wake them up, you could save their lives or lives of somebody else that they might run into, you know.
Sometimes a nodder does look like a Dewey, doesn't he?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. When they're going all over the place, we have no way of telling. But I'm sure if they saw 905 with his red lights and siren right behind him, it'd wake me up.
Sometimes.
Now, do you think that the lingo is difficult? I remember you know, just a couple of minutes we were talking, and you said something about picking up the wrong mic. Now you have a mic for your CB radio. You obviously have a portable mic so that you can talk right on the E-way if you have to the expressway. I'm sorry, jargon. You have a jargon for each one of these different radios, don't you? The CBers have their own jargon.
Yeah, we have a language that some people say they don't understand it, or that people speak too fast. But like if people ask on the radio, where's the Smokey, you know,
You're talking
that's
about
for a policeman,
black cloud,
somebody hiding someplace, or
it's just like we have like
10 code.
people get the police scanners and listen to our jargon,
Yeah.
and they don't understand the 10 series.
Yeah.
They don't understand what it is, but sometimes it's a little difficult going between CB and the police radio. You're trying to think, oh, what stage am I in? Gets a little confusing, but...
if you're talking to our dispatcher in CB jargon...
Yeah, he's going to say, what the heck is going to go on?
What's going on here, Ralph? 905, would you repeat? Or Black Cloud?
Whoops, wrong radio.
Who's Black Cloud? Yeah. What do we have? Some of the things that you've gotten from the CBers, you've gotten a number of things, and what are some of the typical things?
The main things that we've gotten from the CBers is the what they call a Harvey wallbanger, which is a DWI. I picked up quite a few of them where they inform us what exit they're at, coming up towards us, going away from us, what direction, what lane they're in, how they're driving, and we set up, try to get to that location as fast as possible.
Do they ever spoof you? Do they ever give you
sometimes
a little bit of a...
Yeah, yeah. It's just,
everybody knows.
Majority of the CBers, I'd like to say, you know, tell the actual truth, don't exaggerate, give us a good location.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working the expressway for 2.5 years, and sometimes I don't know where I am on the expressway, so it's a little difficult. It all looks the same.
Yeah.
If you're between exits, you don't know where you are.
Yeah, especially when you're so used to it.
Right.
You know, and you may be daydreaming.
Or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Not that we'd admit, I got to say that Ralph very graciously consented to come here after midnight. So the typical thing though would be the Harvey wallbanger.
Harvey wallbanger.
Or the disabled motorist, or the accident.
We get a lot of disabled female with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Have sometimes a bicyclist on the expressway, which are not supposed to be, a pedestrian walking, causing a hazard. They call in a lot of the trucks drop debris on a roadway, which could cause a bad accident hazard. So they call a location and we respond and check it out.
And it should be noted that the primary responsibility for a highway officer is not only summonses. A lot of people think that that's all you do.
No, it's safety, helping the public.
It really is. It's that guy who's had something fall off his car, or maybe an unsafe car that should be stopped and maybe even noted, guy riding along without taillights, and he doesn't even know it. And there's traffic coming up on him. Maybe it's 65 miles an hour, which is above the speed limit, true, but it still happens. It happens regularly. You have a CB in your personal car. Of course, you do too. You don't have a police car, do you?
No.
You have the, what'd you say? We're kind of being surreptitious here because we don't want to give away a lot of your secrets.
Well, no. I didn't understand that.
we don't want to tell people what kind of car you drive.
Oh, well, no.
What kind of car do you drive?
No, anybody that's on the highway,
Rich?
they know that I drive a triple R. It's a, you know, just a plain old red Rolls Royce. And a lot of people, well, a lot of truckers, you know, try to race my Rolls Royce, but
I've been still trying to catch them on the highway with my radar, but
you have to
never find that red Rolls Royce, right?
Ghost.
You have to drive in something, so.
Okay. But you have a CB even in your off-duty car.
Right.
Do you ever get a call? People obviously, Otter isn't the only CBer out there giving you calls and giving you information. Do people, when you get on the CB and you say Black Cloud and you start talking to other CBers, do they know that you're
Usually they realize who it is if they've heard the handle often enough, and they hear the voice and everything else. Matter of fact, there was a time I was going down William Floyd Parkway with my kids, and I had the CB on, and I had a drunk right in front of me. Yeah. And I called the PD just to reverse, you know.
You were Otter for that.
Yes.
Yeah. You were the Good Samaritan, if you will, because we want to get these guys off the road, obviously. I was going to ask you about that. A couple of times I've been riding on the expressway and had maybe an Otter, maybe a DWI as we call them, and wanted a call, and I was literally, you know, trying to keep up with the car a little bit in my own personal car to see if I could find an expressway unit. And as you know, most of the time at night, expressway units are very busy. They might be doing arrests or might be at a particular location helping a disabled motorist or doing an accident. So you don't always pass them. You'll say, where are the cars up here? The police cars. They're there. It's a big stretch of roadway. It's, what is it in Suffolk, 35 miles or something? Yes. That's a lot of roadway.
Well, also, when I go down the road using my CB, I work at a Jersey. And so I just like to go by and say hello, you know. Mm-hmm. And this way, no, sometimes you see strange things happen on the highway, you know. People, like we had a snowstorm and the highway was slippery. Yeah. And cars were sliding in places that you wouldn't believe, you know. You'd have to drop them in there by a plane. Yeah. And now the people are down there and they're trapped and they don't know what to do. You know,
we're out of time, but we've good-naturedly kidded you, and we don't mean to. And of course, we appreciate the help. I want to thank Mr. Rich Otter, and Officer Ralph Francois, Black Cloud, for being part of Police Profiles. And as always, Jeannie Perazzo, Cablevision TV 6, for making this program possible. And Maria Parisi, who produced this, or helped to produce this program. Thank you all very much.